in a brand new town, doing the best they can. Four little women are on their own, looking to make their stand. Fortunes of war can change their way. We imagine our lives will be. The March family are on their way. Make Joe, Beth, and Davy.
I'll never forget the morning when the wounded Confederate soldiers began marching into our midst. Marmee said that they had lost a battle at Gettysburg, and it was only a matter of time before the Union Army caught up with them again. No, we didn't want to leave our little home, but everyone in town had to find lodging elsewhere or face the possibility of being caught in the middle of a terrible battle.
If they come any closer, they'll be exploding over the town.
Oh, look over there, Marmee. All those people are dreadfully close to the gunfire.
Mother, they could be killed.
I wish we could do something to help, but all we can do now is pray for their safety.
Come now, children, we have to hurry up.
Hannah's right, children, quickly.
It was a dreadfully sad time. Nearly everything we owned had to be left behind, and we didn't know how long it would be before we could return. I ought not complain, but we were mortally afraid, even Joe. Since our father left for war, she'd put on airs and acted like she was the head of the family. But we knew she shared our fears.
Hey, everyone, wait for me.
By nightfall, the six of us had met up with some of our friends and made a camp about 3 miles from town. Even though it was safe there, we couldn't help but wonder what was to become of us. We could see our town in the distance and knew we couldn't return until the rebel soldiers had decided to move on. It was lonely, and all we could do was wait together and watch. Beth, you're cold, aren't you?
But Beth, how can you be cold? It's so warm.
I don't quite know. Oh, Beth is just frightened and a little bit lonely being so far away from home and all her nice dolls. I bet you miss them. Well, they're all alone with no one to talk to.
Ah.
Do you think the Confederate soldiers will harm our home?
Just you wait. Everything will be all right.
Hope so.
With each day, the Union Army's been closing in on the Confederate soldiers. I don't think they've got a lot of time. The last few weeks must have taken their toll. I'd imagine that they're terribly hungry and tired and need a place to rest before they begin their long trip home. They'll be so thankful for a few hours of relaxation, I figure there's a good chance they won't harm our house at all.
Wait a minute, Joe. Isn't it possible that they might fortify our town and use it to make a stand against the Union Army?
Goodness knows that York doesn't have a gigantic castle wall around it like the Alamo to protect itself. So then our Union Army can easily surround them.
Ah, but if they start fighting each other again, our whole town might get blown up.
That's true. If there's a battle in York, our house might be destroyed.
See, I knew I shouldn't have left all my dolls at home. Oh, it won't be long before those rebels get pushed out. Our town will be just fine again, you'll see. Now look, all our chattering's awakened Milky Ann.
Poor thing's been in that basket all day.
Oh dear, it's long past her dinner time. And she wants to eat.
No kidding, that makes 7 of us.
Hey, what's that?
More explosions. And they're not far from here either. The Union must be starting another attack.
They're getting closer to us all the time. Do you think the Confederate soldiers might be coming up this hill soon?
Not much chance of that.
But how can we know for sure?
Simple strategy. Retreating in this direction would be the long way home. If they're on the run, they'd be more likely to head straight south than to go any further out of their way. We'll be safe here.
All right, girls. I've made a new friend, Mr. Bugley, who was generous enough to pitch us an extra tent. So, Amy and Beth, how would you two like to be roommates?
Well, that would be ever so nice.
Uh-huh.
Aren't we lucky we don't have to sleep outdoors with all those creepy bugs?
Well, I think it'll be a real pleasure to sleep outside tonight. It's so warm and beautiful.
Mother, does that mean the rest of us are going to have to sleep
Come on.
outside?
We'll be fine, Meg.
But it'll be so damp and uncomfortable.
Meg, just hush up. This is fun.
And so it was decided that we'd all just have to make the best of our situation and take some comfort in the fact that at least we weren't alone.
Ah. Oh, hello, Mrs. March. I'm right here.
Hello again, Mr. Bugley.
Busy
These are two of my beautiful young daughters. I hope we're not imposing.
Don't be ridiculous. Betty, look who's here.
Hi! Come on in. Daddy's told me all about you.
Can my kitty come in? She'll sleep in the basket like she does at home, and she'll be very quiet.
Of course you can. I love kitties.
Yay! Oh, look, Beth, there's pillows and everything, just like we have at home.
You see, their life is one long game when you're a youngster.
But the game isn't always such fun to play, Mr. Bugley, for the rules often change. For instance, we shouldn't have had to leave our town. Perhaps if we just remained at home with our doors locked, the men would have passed us by, and the girls wouldn't have had to endure this inconvenience.
Let me see. It's not easy to explain. Men go through a lot of changes during a war. Being away from home and loved ones for a long stretch of time can be extremely unsettling.
Yes.
You just can't expect them to behave in a gentlemanly fashion, especially when they've been defeated by the enemy and they're retreating. To be sure, these are most trying times for all of us, Mrs. March.
That loud crash, I'm sure it came from our town. Oh my! This is horrible! There's a fire! Oh! It must be serious, even at this distance. It's so bright. The fire may spread to our home. Do you really think so? Only one place is burning so far. I pray that our home is spared.
If they keep bombing the town, there'll be nothing left of it to burn.
They're turning our town into a battleground. Just think of all the damage, not to mention all the lives that might be lost. The fire is spreading. The whole town's gonna go up. Oh no, my new dress for the dance, I left it in my room. I'm glad I remembered to bring the first draft of my novel.
Now, what in the world are the two of you carrying on so about? You act as if the fire has already burnt everything down.
Look, another bomb.
What we had feared most when Marmee had routed us up early that morning was actually happening. This was not a dream. The war had come to our town, and we were helpless to stop it.
Stop them! Stop them or there'll be nothing left.
This isn't fair. I've lived my whole life in that town. What are we to do?
Girls, are you all right?
Marmee! Marmee! Oh, one of our house is gone.
Oh.
By now, everyone in our tiny camp knew that the fire was spreading quickly from one building to another, and each family could only pray that their house might somehow be spared. But as Marmee, Meg, Hannah, and Joe huddled together on that warm summer's evening, there seemed little doubt that by morning there would be nothing left but ashes and rubble. One by one, the families made their way back into town to inspect the damage and salvage whatever possessions that might have escaped the fire. The Union Army had been successful last night, but the rest of us who had made our home in this town were left to wonder if their victory had been worth the cost.
Hannah, we've lost everything.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't believe we lost all our furniture and our clothes. Meg, that means you lost the new dress you got for the dance. Now everything is gone.
Where are we going to sleep tonight? My skates and gems and precious little statues.
Young lady, you just hold on a minute, Beth. Where do you think you're going?
Marmee, all of my dolls were left inside.
Please. Just wait. Yes, a few things might have survived, but we don't know if it's safe to look.
My little friends might be suffering in there. Mother, let me take her. I promise you I'll be careful.
Please watch your step.
Thank you, Mother. We'll be all right. Come on, Beth. It's okay. Let's see if we can find your friends. Now, promise me you'll stay close and watch out for burning embers. This was the living room. Terrible. When we were getting ready to leave yesterday, I brought all of my dolls downstairs. But then Marmee told me I should leave them behind.
I remember putting them here on the sofa. Here, Beth, let me get that for you.
Ah! It broke my hands!
Huh? Oh, Beth, dear, I'm so sorry. I know how precious those dolls were to you. You remember little Bobby, don't you, Joe? Marmee gave him to me for my 7th birthday, and what a good little doll he was. Bobby always minded me he was ever so jolly. I'll miss him.
We'll get you another, and he'll be even...
Wait, I think I see something. Yes. Oh, Joe, look here.
He seems to be all right. Goodness knows how he survived that dreadful fire. It appears. Yes, I can tell how happy he is that you found him.
His name's Pete.
Little Pete's very lucky.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he's quite brave, too. I'm so pleased he's all right. I love you, little Petey. Huh? Marmee, Father has come home.
Oh.
Papa, Papa, Papa!
Yay, Papa's come back!
Whoa!
Papa, Papa, I missed you so terribly, Papa!
Yes, Amy, it's been far too long.
Hello, Father.
Meg, dear. Mary, darling.
Welcome home.
Little Beth and Josephine. Anna, it's so good to see you again. I'm relieved. You've all survived the battle.
Thank goodness.
Yes, that was a rather costly battle. Many lives were lost in addition to all the destruction. Even our own home.
Yes, dear, it's all gone.
But at least we're all safe and the family's together once again.
Yes.
Mary, considering the circumstances, you must take the girls to Newport right away.
Of course, but we haven't received a reply from Aunt March about our request yet.
Nothing much to worry about. The mail's probably just been held up by the war. She'll still welcome my family.
If you're sure we won't be putting her out, then we'll make plans accordingly.
Then that's settled. You'll stay with Aunt March. But dear, you should prepare to leave town today. The Confederates have tried to block the railroad, but so far things haven't gone their way. But you'd best act quickly, for that situation could change.
Father was needed on the front lines, so he kissed us goodbye and said he'd join the family in Newport soon. But before he left, he took a few moments to speak to Marmee alone.
Mary, was it something I said?
No, I was just remembering what happened at the last town meeting. Everyone was concerned that the Confederate soldiers might harm this year's corn crop. And there's hundreds more stalks standing than before they came. Promise me, Frederick, that when the war's over, we're going to be able to build a brand new life together in Newport.
That would depend upon my finding a job.
Experienced as you are, they just might be interested in hiring you at the lumber mill there.
That's possible. I just remembered I have a few friends working there that should be able to help me out.
Darling, I've already discussed the situation with the girls, and even though they're going to miss their friends, they realize that starting over would be the best thing for all of us.
Well, it does sound rather tempting.
Then you promise me we'll stay if you find a job?
Mm-hmm. You have my word on it. But, there's something else, though. When the war first got underway, the Confederate soldiers robbed the Jameson shoemaking factory. Then they burned it down, and Jameson almost died. After forcing him to open the combination safe and taking all the money, the intruders started a fire. Jameson was very fortunate to escape with his life. And the money we had staked him is gone.
Nearly all of the family's savings had been invested in Jameson's business.
Yes, going into partnership with Jameson left us with very little savings in the bank. And my salary from the war certainly isn't much.
Well, dear, we may not be rich, but I know it'll be enough to make the move to Newport and begin thinking about pulling our lives back together.
You're right. By the time this war's over and I'm able to come back home for good, we'll have much more than a head start, won't we?
I just wish that the war would be over soon.
I'm sorry.
I'm dreadfully proud of you and love you very much.
What upsets me the most about this blasted civil war is that I must leave my dear loved ones back home.
Do take care of yourself, Frederick. I worry so.
Now let's think about getting you to the railway station.
All right, dear. The girls are already packing.
Mary, I'll try to keep in touch with you just as often as I can.
You know I wait for every letter. And this war will never come between us, dear. I'm going to miss you so. It's that time.
I know. One more thing. Tell my daughters they're always in my heart.
I will, my love.
Farewell. Giddy up!
Ever so difficult for Marmee to watch Father ride back to his post. I dare say it was nearly as sad as when he was first called into service. Their time spent together had become most precious, tender moments to be cherished.
Bye.
The road ahead was an uncertain one. Even though Father would always be with her in spirit, Marmee truly wished that he could be there by her side to guide the way. Soon on our way to Newport, we were wishing with all our might it would be the most grand city we'd ever seen. At first the ride was exciting, but it didn't take long for the novelty to wear rather thin. Most especially for Jo, who always gets fidgety when she's forced to remain in one place for any time at all.
Where are you off to? I'm simply standing up to stretch my legs. This train has become quite boring.
I'm bored too, but try to make the best of it. Remember that patience is a virtue.
Guess so. Now, why don't we play a little I Wonder game? I wonder what different kinds of people boarded this train at Gettysburg today and are traveling to Philadelphia. Gee, I wonder if there are any bank robbers.
Don't be absurd.
Just play pretend for a second. They boarded the train in Gettysburg and are going to try to rob us. Hey, little one. Wouldn't you like to go outside with me where it won't be so warm?
Mother wants me to sit still and behave myself.
All right, but I'm tired of sitting in one spot.
Wait for me, Jo. I've changed my mind. But do let's be careful.
Now, Milky Ann, you're simply going to have to hush up. The conductor might find out you don't have a ticket.
I told you it'd be nice and cool outside.
I'm scared, Jo, aren't you?
We'll be fine as long as we hold on
Just
tight.
promise you won't leave me out here all alone.
Look, Amy, you can see the tracks from here.
Why did I let you talk me into coming outside?
You are such a silly goose. I've got it. I think I'll climb right up there on the roof.
Miss Jo, that's not safe for the likes of
Who is that?
Someone called out my name.
That's right, I heard him.
You shouldn't be afraid of me.
Look, it's our friend John.
He's our friend?
Yep, that's right. When I was running away from the Confederates, your family was kind enough to hide me.
Why are you up there? Are you still hiding?
Well, you might say that. I'm hiding out from the conductor. It's not very comfortable, but I get a good look at the scenery, and it's free. Only way for me to ride was to climb on top.
But isn't that wrong?
Sure, but I don't have a penny to my name.
Why's that?
I haven't been able to find a job, and I've barely been able to eat, but now I think I can find something in Boston.
Boston? Our whole family's moving to Newport, which is just outside of Boston.
Well, I know Newport. It's on the way to Canada. My friends told me about it. Long before the Civil War, all the runaway slaves who were tired of being told what to do would stop in Newport. That town treated them mighty fine. Believe me. After that, my friends always called Newport the gateway to freedom.
Maybe after you find a job and make yourself a new home, you can come up north and pay us a visit.
Thank you, Miss Jo. You sure got yourself a deal. Only good times ahead for all of us.
Unless you mind, I'll have my mother buy you a ticket. That way you'll be able to come inside with us and say hello to everyone.
No, ma'am. That'd be dangerous. Thanks anyway. Your family's done too much already. Besides, I'm just fine up here. I like nothing better than breathing fresh air.
We were glad to get back out in the open countryside because all of that smoke was making our heads go topsy-turvy.
Oh, dear, John, are you going to be all right?
guess I'll be okay in a minute. All that smoke was getting to me. I guess that's what I get for riding up here.
Joe, I'm scared.
Oh, there, I'm right here. Hey, maybe you should go on inside for a little while.
Okay.
Oh, Amy. Please don't tell anyone about meeting John out here.
Okay, I won't.
Good girl.
Miss Joe, it'd probably be a good idea if you joined her. We might be going through another tunnel. But before you go on back inside, that face of yours needs cleaning. You're covered with soot.
Is John still on the roof?
Chatterbox.
I am not.
I forced her to tell me everything, Joe. Is he going to stay up on the roof for the entire trip?
Meg, he's too afraid to come down because he thinks he might get caught. So when the train's about to arrive in Boston, I'll go and tell him.
And then what?
Not so loud. As the train slows down, he'll jump off.
He might be hurt.
John thinks it's much more dangerous to be caught inside by the conductor without a ticket. I've got a real good feeling that he'll be okay.
It was exciting knowing that John was riding with us, and we felt that we were a set of rascals for keeping it a secret for the whole trip. Yes, the hours had passed with the miles, and we were finally approaching the city.
Nobody's watching. This is the perfect time.
Thanks for your help. I appreciate your kindness.
Good luck, John.
See you in Newport.
Oh!
Hooray!
What's going on, girls? Oh, just playing a game.
Oh, yes, Marmee, it's an ever-so-secret game.
John had taken quite a tumble, but was none the worse for wear. After watching us disappear down the tracks, he began his walk into Boston, hoping to arrive before the sun went down. Meanwhile, on board the train, Joe was in a thoughtful and most sentimental mood.
He's a good man. I hope we find nice friends in Newport.
Starting with our early morning flight from home, seeing Papa, and then being reunited with our friend John during an exciting train ride, well, the March family had experienced a couple of hectic but most enlightening days. We had been reminded that the Civil War was affecting many people's lives, and each day was a new beginning.
Fortunes of war.